Sharon.
Yeah, how about that? How about that?
I know, right? And I think Councilmember Houston is trying to get through.
Doug.
And Councilmember Zimmerman is there.
Let's give everyone some room.
Is that everybody?
It looks like it.
So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today so that your voices are heard by the community, by the council, by the city manager, and by me. Your voice ensures that we remember David Joseph, woo! And they remind us that Black Lives Matter. Woo!
Right.
I want you to know that the city hears you, and the country hears you. Earlier this week, I felt a pretty deep sense of sadness, as I'm sure many did, when I learned that our community lost David Joseph. Because the loss of any young person's life is disheartening. It's tragic, regardless of the circumstances. And nothing we learn here out is going to change that. We mourn his loss, and my heart goes out to his loved ones and his family. I have spoken with Mimi Stiles, with the Austin Justice Coalition. I've spoken with Nelson, other community leaders, as well as Police Chief Acevedo. And we are working to make sure that we take the appropriate next steps in action. It's my understanding that we're going to take the following steps. Quite frankly, as I read the demands that were handed to me, they seem to be headed in the same direction and doing the same thing. The first is that I understand that normal policy in these procedures is it takes 45 days to do an investigation. You want, and we want,
An external investigation.
that to happen more quickly. And that was a conversation that I had with the police chief this morning. The second that we need to talk about is that if we do not have confidence in that short process, in that investigation, then we need to be ready to ask for other entities or parties for an independent investigation to come in.
Do it now!
Do it now!
Do it now!
All of us are going to be demanding speed with that initial investigation, and then we need to move forward. The question of policy and procedure is real important. And we need to have a review and audit of the policies that we have in this city, both with respect to mental health responses, and also with respect to our use of force.
Yes.
And both those have to be on our agenda, both as they were applied here and as how they sit on the books and policies that we have in this city. I intend to continue to work daily, if necessary, as we go through this process with the community leaders, with this community, to ensure that this review happens quickly and expeditiously, and that we review the larger picture involved. And again, I appreciate you being out here today. I look at the demands that you've brought, and they speak to the kinds of things that we have just spoken about. I stand with you with respect, pushing these things forward.
Are you going to read them?
Yeah, we should.
Please read them.
Man number
Sorry.
one, a complete and thorough internal investigation conducted immediately and completely in less than 30 days.
Externally.
The next one says that we want the manager to appoint an outside individual or entity to thoroughly investigate the actions by the officer resulting in the death, David Joseph. We want to review an audit of the policy manual with respect to mental health response by the City of Austin, Department of Justice, and independent investigators. And we want to review an audit of the use of force policy in the same manner. And we demand that the members of the Austin Justice Coalition be invited to actively participate in the selection of the outside independent investigator. And even beyond that, I think that the members of the community need to be involved in the analysis and the conversation that occurs incident to this. We need to move forward with these kinds of responses. And I think that you're going to see that your city does that. And I'm here to help ensure that that is what happens. Anybody else want to say anything on the council?